So Ian, FaZe, looking fine, looking poor, looking the same.
I mean, they're not looking as dominant as they were, obviously, but I wouldn't say they're like struggling right now. I think it's just every other team is really starting to improve.
It's getting better.
Yeah, it's hard to be as dominant as they were in the beginning of this game for a whole year. It just is. And now you have these other teams who made moves, you know, probably just watched all of FaZe's VODs, learned from them, you know, is trying to hard counter them in S&T and everything. But FaZe is still getting the wins. Yeah, they haven't been as dominant right now, but when you have a team with those players and that talent, I think it's just something you gotta, you know, you gotta ride out. Not saying that they would ever make a team change, but like you don't need to panic yet. You know, especially with Pac being their S&D coach, they're gonna be fine. They're a top 2 team in the game. It's as simple as that. I don't think they're struggling. It's more of other teams who are just catching up to them.
3 Game 5s in a row, losing the one to New York. It just, something about it reminds me of last year too, where like they were the dominant team to start, and then they were still probably the best team throughout, but it started getting really close, closer and closer and closer and closer until finally Dallas passed them up. That's all I'd be worried about if I was a FaZe fan. It's more like, we know they're going to be at the top. They're going to be at the top, but if you want them to be the champion at the end of the day, and right now it's looking like that gap is non-existent. And so that's what's scary to me. The players, with all the talent they have, they just keep clutching up in all these situations, but I expect them to get to a point where, if they're going to be the champion again, where they start dominating at the right time, kind of like when they won in Black Ops 4. They just happened to turn up at, like, meta shifted, whatever, but they turned up at the right time, and that's what they're going to need to do again, because when they're like that, they're pretty damn hard to beat. Right now, I wouldn't be surprised if Toronto just went out and won the next major again. Like, just
they look great.
They look right. So
that is huge to what you said, John, by the way, about the meta, because you have to realize too, the recent update, which I know it, how long has it been? Is it just this week they've been playing on it?
I believe it was just this week.
I think it's just this week,
Just this week. So like with the AK-74, you're a lot slower. You're slower than you are with the Krig. So like that, you got to think that affects aBeZy, that affects like the 2 best players on their team, arguably.
No, that does.
I mean, throw that in there.
No, it has to. It has to. And they went to 2 Game 5s, right? Like, we don't know how that's gonna have lasting effects, but sometimes it only takes a little bit to make whatever your competition is just a little bit better, and your team a little bit worse, like what happened with 100 Thieves and United. Not that 100 Thieves was ever bad, but they were just that switch made the other team a little better, and that's all that matters. Just a little better.
Over the top.
Yeah, it's like,
I think that's a great point.
Like, oh great, now they rely less on, no offense, as they won. No, they rely less on Preston and Clay because of the Maddox, and they're relying on aBeZy and Simp. That's definitely a better 2 to rely on, and it helped the team, and they won. So who knows?